Todd's Odds, our weekly visit with the former Caesars odds maker and host of the Bet the Boards podcast. It's Todd Fuhrman, our good friend from Las Vegas, Nevada. Todd, the Miami Dolphins, last I checked, last undefeated team in the AFC, but like Rodney Dangerfield, they're getting no respect from bettors. Currently sitting with the third best odds to win the AFC. Is this worth a wager, Todd?
You know, for me, Jay, it's not, because when you look at the landscape in the AFC, it's going to be an absolutely daunting road for whoever ends up with that number one seed, gets to avoid the extra playoff game, and has to go through the Bills, has to go through the Dolphins, goes through the Chiefs, etc. When you look at all of these teams, there's no doubt Miami's offense is clicking on all cylinders early on in the campaign, a 70-point outburst last week against the Denver Broncos. And the defense will only get better as they start to adapt to Vic Fangio's system and hopefully can insert Jalen Ramsey into the fold. But for me, until proven otherwise, the road to the AFC still goes through Arrowhead Stadium and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think the Dolphins are going to be there at the end of the regular season. This price just a bit too short to get me to buy into and tie up my cash for the next couple of months.
Todd, I'm going to do something fun. After every question I ask you, I'm going to flick my card Letterman style and see if we can break some windows. So here we go. We did it.
It's impressive. You're 1 for 1, Jay. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going, buddy. Here's something I didn't know. There's one team to hit all their overs in the NFL this year. That team is the Chicago Bears. There's one team and only one team that's hit all of their unders. That's the stingy New Orleans Saints. So, Todd, my question for you is, what trend do you see continuing this weekend? Bears over or Saints under?
Honestly, Jay, I think both trends can continue this weekend. You mentioned the Bears, and they have been in a giving mood all season long. Their defense not providing much in the way of resistance. They didn't do anything this offseason to really bolster their pass rush, and the secondary that was supposed to be improved may end up being improved by the end of the regular season. The problem being is they can't get their key cogs healthy, and it's not a recipe for success. While Denver hasn't lit the world on fire under Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, the Bears could be the ultimate cure-all, and the Bears offense should be able to move the football with some success against Denver. Meanwhile, you mentioned the stingy New Orleans Saints. This is a team right now that may struggle to move the football, making the change from Derek Carr to Jameis Winston while Carr recovers from that shoulder injury. Tampa dealing with a rash of injuries on the defensive side of the ball themselves, but I'm not sure Tampa is going to do much offensively against this Saints defense. So I really think both of these trends could continue through Sunday of Week 4.
That's good to hear. I like over-under. Here we go. One more time. All right. Todd, Robert Saleh is sticking with Zach Wilson against the advice of literally everyone in his life and on the planet. So my question for you is, I noticed that the Jets are plus 1,800 to finish with the NFL's worst record. Worth a wager?
You know, honestly, Jay, Robert Saleh, loyal to a fault. I just hope I don't become your Zach Wilson and potentially end your career a lot sooner than it should, because you have so much hope and so much confidence in my abilities to become an NFL caliber quarterback. But 18-1 with a defense that's going to step its level of play up some, even with a grueling schedule early, probably not enough to get me involved. Zach Wilson, you look at some of the numbers and they're borderline staggering. He's got the chance to be the lowest rated quarterback in the NFL for 3 straight seasons. It's a pretty impressive accomplishment if you're able to pull that off. But there is a team in this market in a similar price range that I think does offer a little bit of value. And unfortunately, that would be the team right here in my backyard, the Las Vegas Raiders, dealing with a rash of issues off the field. The Chandler Jones situation, a bit unfortunate. Devontae Adams not exactly coming out sounding like the most confident in the trajectory of this organization. And if you look at the Raiders' schedule, knowing that they play in the AFC, within the confines of the AFC West, that's a team that I'd be looking to try and bet. It wouldn't shock me if they finish with 4 or 5 wins max.
What happens in Vegas stays there. Gotta be a... Oh, wait. Oh.
Jay, you're ruining the authenticity now. People actually thought you were breaking windows. Then you got itchy with the trigger finger. You're holding on to the card. And now the whole charade completely gone and out the window.
All I know, Todd, is that our audio guy is very upset with me right now. Let's try it again. There we go. Sorry, Nabesy. That's our audio guy. Todd, it's got to be a virtual lock for Travis Kelce's anytime touchdown scorer on Sunday night, right? Because as long as Taylor Swift is still going to games, Kelce's odds 10-1 to finish with the most receiving touchdowns on Sunday. Worth the sprinkle?
I mean, look, this still to me feels like the world's largest publicity stunt. And kudos to Taylor Swift for tapping into the NFL fan base. Kudos to Travis Kelce for trying to get all the Swifties applying astrology to what kind of numbers he'll put forth throughout the course of the regular season at the tight end position. But look, Jay, all of these narratives drive these prices. And unfortunately, I don't see value in Travis Kelce for an anytime touchdown. You mentioned the 10-1 price as much as anything else. 87 for me is the single most valuable skill position player in the league, not at the quarterback position. But at the same time, I'm not willing to pay a premium to back Travis Kelce in these markets any more than I am to pay to sit front row at a Taylor Swift concert in the near future.
Well said. I tried to fool the audio guy there, but he didn't fall for it. There we go. Todd, we ask every week, and we're going to ask you every week until we get an answer from you. Do you have a Super Bowl pick for us?
You know, look, Jay, last week I said I was buying into the Cowboys. What do? They go on the road to Arizona, lose outright as a double-digit favorite. So, unfortunately, I got to go back to the drawing board. I got to try and assess all of my numbers and figure out where there's a little bit of value. I still think the road to the AFC is going to run through Kansas City, but right now, I'm not willing to make a Super Bowl pick.
I appreciate that. You're a man of integrity. That's why I like you, Todd. It's been great having you on the show. We'll work on the sound effects to make next week a little more realistic for you. Okay, buddy?
Hey, I appreciate the hard sell as always.
Thanks, buddy. You're the best. You can see, this is fun. I know Todd will like this. He loves cartoons. Falcons Jags, Sunday on TSN. You can catch the alternate Toy Story broadcast on TSN+. Andy's room will replicate the on-the-field gameplay from Wembley Stadium. It's going to be fun. Coverage begins at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time.